Practice tonight, we went full pads, fairly physical practice. Just trying to get back in the flow, trying to be physical, trying to get that mindset so we can finish strong.
How was the practice?
I thought it was pretty solid, really. Felt like our guys were ready to get back at it and to get back on track.
Second quarter hadn't been a real good quarter, the offense lately. Anything you can identify is going on there?
Well, you know, there's a lot of different factors of that. You know, it hadn't just been the second quarter. I mean, you know, a lot of second halves have not been very good either. So, you know, we got to do a better job of executing. We got to do a better job of adjusting. Bottom line is finding a way to score more points.
Gus, Mike Dyer's having a pretty good year for you guys, but we don't hear anything about it. It seems like he's over 1,000 and nobody really cares. Just talk about the season he's had.
Well, he's done a solid job. Really has. You know, he's ran for a lot of yards, ran for some tough yards too. And you know, he's kind of the focal point. You know, last year it was Cam and some of the other guys, but now he's a focal point for him to get 1,000 yards. You know, in this league, you know, that's definitely a big thing.
Is it kind of a quiet 1,000 just because it seems to be more 5 yards in a clip as opposed to, you know, highlight film kind of runs?
Yeah, well, I think the more successful you are on offense and as a team, the more publicity, you know, people get. But he has had some long runs, you know, and really I think the big difference between last year and this year is he's really gotten faster. And, you know, he's broken some long runs. And but he's also had some real tough yards too, you know, the 3 and 4 and you know, give it to him quite a bit. And sometimes when they know that he's getting it.
But do you believe in him even more after what he's done this year, just how tough he's been?
Yeah, I've seen him grow. I mean, he's grown up, you know, from the first year to the second year, and I think he'll do that each year.
It's going to be odd seeing Red over there on the other side.
Yeah, that'll be weird now. I mean, that'll be weird. I've been with him a long time, you know, and when you're competing against somebody, he's a great competitor, and you know, to answer your question, yes, it'll be weird. Weird for everybody.
He's looking to him.
Oh, yeah.
This week?
Yes.
What kind of stuff would you talk about with Rhett this week?
We just talk football and just, you know, of course, checking on how he's doing, all that stuff. So, but he's a great competitor. He's a great coach, and he'll be prepared.
One of the things everybody's kind of talked about is finding more ways to get other guys the football. Is that one of the focal points this week, get maybe some of those young guys at wide receiver more involved in passing games?
You know, I think if you're going to be effective on offense, you've got to be balanced. You've got to spread the ball around, and you know that's part of the equation that you know, definitely we're trying to solve. That's just one of the things. But you know, at the same time, you know, when you're really good on offense, you know, you've got a couple guys that you go to, and as a coach, you got to figure out a way to get them the ball different ways too. So I think there's some of both.
For guys like, I mean, you know, Quan Bray and Trevon, those guys, you see them kind of taking steps forward in the offense, getting closer to taking
Yeah, you know, Quan, you know, Trevon's, you know, he still battles some things, you know, and but Quan, you see him getting more and more competitive, and he's getting more and more playing time, and you know, he's got a chance to be a really good player, you know, before it's all said and done. I really love his attitude and love his work ethic.
Back to Rhett for a second. I mean, I imagine when Coach Sullivan was thinking of hiring him, you guys had conversations. But I mean, what sorts of things, you know, made him right for the job, you think?
Well, you know, I've said this before. I mean, he's got that potential. You know, someday he'll be a head coach at this level. He's got the it factor. You know, he's a very smart individual. He's got everything it takes to be, you know, a really good coach. So I was real happy for him. I mean, we hated to lose him. He's a big part of what we did the last 2 years, but you know, he needed that. It was really good for him, and he's done a great job.
Anything else? Coach, your name's been mentioned, I guess, with North Carolina. Have you had any contact with them as far as?
You know, the only thing I've done, we've got 2 more games, and I've got to do the best job I've done since I've been here, and that's my focus, and that's my only focus.